Welcome. So today we're going to be taking a look at r/best of Redditor updates. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in listening to today, then please do stick around and enjoy. And don't forget to like and subscribe, please. Thank you. Okay then, first post posted by Direct Caterpillar 77. My husband doesn't want to play my co-worker's wedding. So it was originally posted on Ask a Manager, and we have a trigger warning for infidelity. Direct Caterpillar 77 is not the original poster. They are the person who compiled it for us, like a lovely little bean. So the original post was posted January 23rd, 2023. And it's mad to think, over 3 years ago now. Crazy. Anyway, our workplace is smallish with about 50 employees scattered amongst separate departments. A few months ago, I had to speak with a relatively new employee, Jane. She is in a different department than I am, and I rarely have to interact with her. She is a recent college grad, and this is her first job out of college. She normally gives off a friendly vibe, but during my talk with her, she was rather rude and basically insinuated that I was stupid with the question I asked. Ah yes, great way to make friends in the office when you've just joined the job, but okay. After the interaction, I avoided her, and she has said and done more things in the office that give off entitlement vibes. It's incredibly frustrating. Jane has also recently become engaged and is actively searching for vendors for her wedding. Honestly, with attitude like that, I am very surprised she is engaged. God help the husband. And as karma would have it, my husband has the biggest, most successful wedding band in our state. I help him run the business behind the scenes, but he is the talent and is very well known in our area. I was replying to wedding inquiry emails recently, I can see where this is going, when it just so happened that Jane had inquired about pricing. She stated in the email that she's seen the band play multiple times and, in her words, needs to have them play for her day to be perfect. I don't think she knows the wedding band and singer she wants is my husband. These emails are addressed to something like name@weddingband.com. We have a pretty common last name. I don't go out to see him play much, and he's only visited me a handful of times at work. My husband knows all the work drama and my frustration with this woman, and he doesn't really want me to have to deal with all of her wedding details behind the scenes. Her wedding date is out far enough that he hasn't booked it yet. He also has a calendar on their website with dates that are open so clients can clearly see if the date they want is booked or not. My husband suggests asking for an atrocious amount of money so she will decline herself. I think we should respond that they won't be a good fit and leave it at that. I want to hear what you would suggest that would be professional for myself and my husband. I think asking for a massive amount of money could be detrimental to the husband, because then she could go around saying to people, oh, I wanted to book this band, but they've quoted me a ridiculous price. Don't bloody go to them because they're ridiculously expensive. Ignoring them might not be the way, because, yeah, that might be, again, just as bad business-wise, because it could, give them a bad name. I don't know what I would do, personally. I think maybe I would do what the OP suggested, which is just saying, oh, we won't be a good fit, and don't, go further than that with it. Maybe pretend that the date has now been booked in between then and the calendar's just not had chance to update yet. I don't know. I certainly wouldn't be playing at that bloody venue, though, I could tell you that for free. So, update November 27th, 2023, 10 months later. I left it up to my husband about whether to reply to my co-worker, Jane, saying he was available for her wedding. We planned to raise the price for next wedding season regardless, so, after much thought, he responded with a quote and she accepted. My husband told me to ignore all emails from her and he would handle it himself. I cannot even begin to tell you the sighs my husband made any time he opened an email from her. Most of the emails to him were just chit-chat, nothing to do with wedding planning. It was getting to the point where my husband wouldn't even respond to emails unless they had a question that he needed to answer. For some context, most most couples book a band about a year out. There's a 5 to 10 emails in the initial booking, but then we crack down on the bulk of the stuff that we need from them 2 to 3 months before. So, over the course of a year, we receive about 40 to 50 emails from one couple. Jane sent my husband 109. Yes, I counted. Emails between February 2023 until September 2023. My goodness, I would block her email address. Now that brings us to a few weeks ago. My husband got a call from the father of the groom, the person financing this wedding, who said that my husband's services were no longer needed and forfeited the deposit. My husband, not very sly at all, asked why, thinking maybe the price was the reason. Nope, Jane, I knew it! Jane has apparently been cheating on her fiancé with someone at my work, and the fiancé called it off. Lucky escape there, my guy. Such a lucky escape. I saw Jane at work a few days later and she seemed fine, though even now I wonder which of our co-workers she has been seeing on the side. I would so desperately want to know. But honestly, lucky for the OP's husband, they don't have to play this woman's wedding because I imagine she would have been a nightmare on the day. And honestly, lucky for the fiancé that they found out because my God. But I'm not surprised. And I mean, if she's sending like 109 emails to the husband as well, what's the betting? She was thinking, oh, I really like this band, and maybe if I flirt with the band leader, I don't know what you call it now, lead singer? Is he a singer? I don't know. I forgot already. Maybe she thought she could be in and become like the ultimate groupie. Who knows? Anyway, so down in the comments, a Crolopede says, OOP gets paid and the husband doesn't have to play the wedding. Win-win, exactly. And then Burger Time says, plus she has the juicy inside workplace hot gossip. If annoying coworker puts a toe out of line, OP can use that information against her, or use it to subtly dig out the affair partner. Might be the boss. Who knows? And then a Crolopede replies to that saying, yeah, that's like a gallon jug of piping hot tea with a faulty lid. Okay, then next post, posted by Pure Adorableness. My wife got accepted to med school 5 hours away, and our parents want us to leave our toddler behind with them. I imagine that was a resounding no. So Pure Adorableness is not the original OP. The original OP is u/wouldn't protection 6503, posting in r/marriage. So it was originally posted November 7th, 2025. We, 21F, 23M, had our son, 3, about to be 4, young. I'm graduated and work full-time. She graduates in the spring. My wife Micah is crazy smart. Yeah, I know, not smart enough to not get pregnant. But even I didn't think she'd get into her dream medical school. We found out the other week. We live in a high cost of living city and live with my wife's dad, stepmom, and her 2 half-sisters. Her mum is retired and watches our son so he doesn't have to go to daycare. We lived with my parents for the first 2 years until my mum got cancer and they moved to a smaller house. She's in remission as of the last month. Oh yay, goody. I know they love us, but it's like our son is the son of their lives. LOL. Micah's parents hate one another, but will take our son places together because they adore him so much. My parents have more pictures of him in their house than me or my siblings. Sometimes we have to push back on them and tell them that we actually would like to do things with our son instead of them always having him. Like, for instance, this weekend, her stepmom told us she was going to take our son to see the lights, even though we already have plans with him, and she seemed upset. It's not bad, I'm just trying to explain how much they adore him and spend time with him. But like the title says, things are changing and we'll be moving next year. I need to find a job And even though things are rough out there in my field, it shouldn't be too bad. And her school will have daycare for our son, but it's causing so many issues. All 5 of them sat us down last week and said that we should consider leaving our son here for the first year. We obviously kind of freaked out and told them no, he's our son and belongs with us, and ended the conversation pretty quickly. And it's true, he's my little best friend. I can't imagine not seeing him every day like I'm some divorced dad from the 90s. Micah is the same way, but she's not the most emotional person. But I know her, and I can tell she's freaked out just by the thought. They've still tried reasoning with us, saying it's just 1 year for us to get settled and then he can come and join us to start kindergarten. They've promised to bring him to see us every weekend, but he's young. I don't want him in the car 10 hours every week. And don't get me wrong, he'll love his grands, but we're his parents. He'll miss us for sure. Yeah, absolutely he will. I wouldn't be leaving my kid and then, going off and moving away 10 hours in a car journey away without my kid for a year. No, absolutely not. And as much as the OP has said that the parents and the family have the kid's best interest at heart and what have you, they still seem extremely overbearing. Whether the intentions are pure or not, overbearing is overbearing, and I feel like they are overstepping some boundaries, by constantly trying to take over. All our parents have been giving us the full court press since then, though. Micah's mum tried convincing her last night, and she said that she started to think that they're right. Nope, do not fold. I think they're just wearing her down, but she was freaking out last night saying that with a toddler and it being medical school and not just normal college, what if she fails or we fail to do the best for our son? He's such a great and happy little boy, and she was spiraling about him hating daycare, missing his grandparents, but I reminded her that millions of kids go to daycare and love it, and he would miss us too. She agreed, but I can tell that she's still upset. I'm just wondering if I'm being illogical. Is it even fair to my son to bring him with us when it's going to be hard and take him away from his life here? I don't know. Sorry if this is jumbled. Obviously everything we do is for our baby, but I'm wondering if we're missing the forest for the trees here. Okay, so I think if the OP thought that there was any chance that they would not be able to actually provide for their child whilst they're out there, so, provide suitable housing, food, suitable electricity and heating, suitable clothing, then yeah, maybe then they would have to take that into consideration. But if it's just that it's going to be tricky because they've been so used to having such a hands-on family around them and now they're not going to have that, that's just life and parenting. And I wouldn't be leaving my kid with family and moving 10 hours away. That will affect the kid. It will. Coming from a child of divorce, and my mum moved miles and miles away, I can definitely say it messed me up as a little kid. Like right now, I do not give a shit. I don't have a second thought about it. But as a child, I remember thinking like, why is she just swanned off without us? Like, why is she gone? And this is England, by the way, so really you can't move that far away. In any direction. And even then it was an hour away, and that was enough to feel like being a little bit abandoned. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I wouldn't be doing that. Just standing on your own 2 feet with your kid and having your family by yourselves is very normal. And I think it's something they can definitely do, and they can still see family, and I'm sure the family will be quite happy to come out and visit as well, and vice versa. So yeah, I think though that family are whittering in the wife's ears and making her feel guilty, and that is not helpful because it's kind of muddying the waters on what she thinks and feels, which is not helpful. So then OP goes on to say, someone suggested me staying and my wife going herself. She kind of mentioned this and immediately freaked out. We're in the USA. Edit, to be clear, I don't want to live apart from her for sure. I'm not jealous or anything, but I could see me getting resentful if it's like I'm here being a single dad and she's out on her own, you know? And then she's resentful that I get to be with our son. Plus, I think I take good care of her and she'll need that in medical school. So then relevant and top comments. Commenter 1, move as a family and put the little guy in daycare. Do not stay behind. Your wife will need your moral support while in med school. Her family can come visit. Exactly, that's exactly what I would do. And then commenter 2 says, you, your wife and your child are a unit. Move that way. All the other stuff you're talking about is the gravy on top of that unit. Make frequent trips, stay for extended periods of time with your family, send the kid for summers with your family, but you are a unit and stay that way. We went through similar things with our kids. I did law school after the first one. She did masters after the second one. Family was crucial to helping, but we are a unit the whole time. So then we have an update, November 14th, 2025, 1 week later. Update to our parents wanting us to leave our son with them when we move for my wife's medical school. I know my life isn't that bad compared to so many people right now, but it's rough. My wife and I are in our early 20s and have a 4-year-old son. We've been living with her parents and have recently had a horrible fight with them. They want us to leave our son with them next year when we move for her to go to medical school. We said no. We were living with her dad and stepmom and they told us to leave. What? So they're so upset about the child not being left with them. So then they ask them to leave and make the child homeless. Right. I'm working and she's in school and works part-time, and honestly, we could have had more saved. But we've been paying things off and having a son is expensive. Oh yeah, having kids is definitely expensive. The first night we went to a hotel with our son. It wasn't a good situation and her mum told her she and our son could stay with her, but not me. Yeah, because the OP is the one that's going, actually no, we're not gonna let you try and like twist us and guilt trip us into leaving our kid with you. I bet you any money that's why they thought if they can get the OP away that they can convince the wife to leave the kid. Obviously, she and our son being safe and somewhere warm is the most important thing, so I insisted she go there and I stayed with a buddy. It's only been a few nights and I've been looking for a place for the 3 of us for every free second. Our city is so expensive and all I've been able to find that's available and we can afford are far away or in a dangerous area. My wife is still in school and the safest place I can find for us is almost 45 minutes one way. I feel like such a failure of a husband. I miss my son and most of all I miss my wife. I have been getting my son after work so that she can study, but what kind of husband and father can't provide a place for us? I mean, to be quite fair, you have had the rug pulled from underneath you a little bit here, purely because you're not basically doing what these parents want you to do. It's not that the OP's failing, they had a plan. Even though her mum is letting them stay there, she said she's not going to let her daughter or grandson be homeless. She won't watch him while we work, go to school like she used to. I know we were really lucky, don't yell at me, but my wife has had to miss class, ask for favours from friends because I work full time and do not have flex PTO, and basically my only option would be unpaid FMLA. I mean, this really does seem like the parents trying to manipulate and strong arm the wife and the OP into giving in. Like, this is not okay. My parents won't take my calls and have my sisters ignoring me too. My brother offered me to stay with him, but his apartment isn't in a super safe area and he has 3 other roommates. My buddy, the one I'm staying with, his parents have offered for us to stay with them. They're lovely and have known us forever, but staying with people again kinda scares me. I know my wife and son are safe, but she's miserable and busy. I feel bad that she's the main one responsible responsible for our son now. Well, she feels bad that I can't see him as often as her. And not to brag, but I take good care of my wife, making sure she has lunch packed and all her stuff before school so she can focus on her grades, and now she doesn't have that. I never thought they'd cut us off. I feel like a failure to my wife and son. This sucks. So, relevant OOP comments compiled. My long-term goal is for my wife to go back to medical school, me be an electrician. After she's done with residency and fellowship, she would be early 30s, and we'd buy a house and maybe have a few more kids. I'm the breadwinner now, but still supporting her as best I can. Because she deserves it, and our son deserves the best life. My goals are more simple than hers. Of course, now our budget is completely changed and I'm saving every penny towards finding us a place. Beyond that, I'm just going to be happy being married to her and being a dad. But I can't do that right now, so I need to get my shit together. We were paying her undergrad tuition, we have savings, but not as much as we should have. Our parents would tell us to still do things like take us on trips or to events and stuff, etc. I know it seems stupid in retrospect, I don't have a mentor, but I have a budget and I'm working on it with all the changes now. Commenter 1. You absolutely are not a failure. Your parents are manipulating and controlling. This is your son, not theirs. Their behaviour should be an eye-opener for you and your wife. Go and stay with your friends, family, you'll all be together and then save every penny so you can move and find your own place. Do not go back to your parents and honestly cut them off at this point. They're waiting for you to give in and go back and let them have your son. Don't do it, you can do this. Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, yes, now it might be that the OP can't afford daycare because they're living in a very high cost to living area. But like they've said, when the OP's wife starts medical school, there will be a daycare there. And I'm imagining it's probably going to be a hell of a lot more affordable. But so by then, yes, they are still going to have a little bit of a struggle because that is life with kids. But they'll figure it out. I feel what the parents are trying to do right now is to make life as hard as possible for OP and his little family so that they can manipulate them into giving in. But yeah, they just need to hold on and it will get better eventually. OOP says, I agree on cutting them off. My poor wife is flailing. I know she's struggling solo parenting our son right now, and I promise I'm helping in every way I can. And last night was crying and saying maybe they're right and just want what's best for our son. I'm not taking it personally, but that hurt. She's probably only cried 3 times since I've met her, so it was scary. I just promised her the world and I've failed at every step. Commenter 2. Probably going to be an unpopular opinion here, but your wife needs to take time off from med school and get a job to help support the family through this difficult time. If you guys are essentially homeless, med school should not be a priority. And then the OOP says, the thing is that when we're there, we have a rental hookup. We'll be able to find a job and we'll have free childcare. It's our hometown, things suck. So then commenter 3 says, so you just have to make it till next July? This is doable. Move in with the other family for now and keep looking for a better place. This gets her away from her toxic mum who wouldn't let her own husband live with her. As a mum and a stepmom of kids your age, I'm appalled by all of you's parents. Abjectly appalled. So the OOP says, yep, it's going to be hard for a few months, but we can do it. We have no other family, but my best friend's parents have offered us to stay with them till we can get our own place. We may take that, but we've been hurt by people before. And then commenter 4 says, dude, your wife is living with a woman who won't let you live with your wife and kid. You will get much more burnt staying as it is than to take your friend's offer. You can save money to move out from your friends, but your mother-in-law does not want you independent of her. Exactly. So then we get an update 3 weeks later from that update. Hey guys, I wanted to finally give a happy update. Just a background, my wife Micah, 21F, and I, 23M, have a 4-year-old son. We were living with her parents as she is finishing school and was accepted into medical school in another city. Our parents all wanted us to leave our son with them for the first year that she was in medical school. When we said no, they kicked us out. Her mum has been letting my wife and my son stay at her house, but hasn't been helping. She used to watch our son during the day as she's retired. I work full time. I've been desperately trying to find all three of us a place together. I've been staying with a buddy, but he has multiple roommates. We get our keys to our place tomorrow! Yay! Originally, Micah's best friend's parents were going to let us stay with them because we live in a very high cost of living area, and Micah is only working part-time. But when we started clearing out their basement for us to stay in, we discovered some issues. Mold, termites, and mice, basically, and the friend's parents need to do a bunch of work. They felt bad, but after what I saw, I feel bad for them. They're so nice, and I said I'd help in any way, but I don't know much about all that. Anyways, sorry I'm rambling. We're in a hotel now just for tonight. When I went to pick up Micah and our son, her mum raged at me and accused me of ruining her daughter's life, and she says she wishes that I'd drop dead. I got my wife and son out of there as quickly as possible, but it was pretty bad. Yeah, I mean, that kind of outburst in front of your kid, I'm glad you didn't leave the kid there. But it's gonna be okay. I found us a place that 1, is safe, and 2, we can afford. It's a little further than we'd like from my work and her school, but we'll figure it out. And it's small. We're going to have to share a bedroom with our son, and it's gonna be really cramped, but it's just less furniture that we'll need. Trying to stay positive. But we'll be together, and that's all that matters. I've seen them every day, but I missed my family so much it hurt. I'm so happy we're together tonight and can't stop snuggling them. Ah, my son likes it. Micah tolerates it. The good news is that all of this has made her even more determined to go to medical school with our son. Her parents have been giving her the full court press, and I know she was upset and questioning everything, but she's not anymore. I have a surprise I can't wait to tell Micah when our son falls asleep. Since we haven't been able to be together, I've spent the last few weeks helping my co-worker's dad with a project for extra cash. I won't be able to give them the magical Christmas that they're used to, but we can make it on our own, and our son will have gifts to open Christmas morning, and so will she, without pulling from our moving and now living budget. I know she's had a really difficult few weeks, but I'm hoping that she can forget all of that soon. We're excited for the future. So then relevant and top comments. Commenter 1, that's so wholesome, man. Sounds like you're going to make it work no matter what. Your kid's going to remember the Christmas that you were all finally together way more than whatever fancy stuff he might have gotten before. And then the OOP says, I hope so. He's used to being pretty spoilt, so hopefully we can make it special regardless. So, down in the comments, Upstairs Combs 6855 says, what a way to guarantee you won't have a relationship with your children or grandchild. Exactly. And then Fetch Dog Fetch says, I just can't imagine. 5 alleged adults decided to play hardball and lost. They may never see their grandson again or any other children these two have. What lunatics. Exactly. Unhinged behaviour. Okay, so I think that's all we've got time for today. If you made it all the way to the end with me, then I appreciate you very, very much. If you give it a little like, subscribe, notifications on, that is your initiation into the Coven of Void. Welcome. Don't forget to leave a comment for Big Al. We must offer him comments to keep him happy. I have been playing a new game. So, well, it's not a new game, but it's a new game to me. My friend has been going on at me to try it, so I was like, okay, I'll give it a go. It's that Detroit Become Human or whatever it's called. I forget already. Yeah, so I've been playing that, and anyone else who's played it, do you not think that Carl, the painter guy in the mansion, in one of the first storylines, looks weirdly like Hugh Hefner? It was bothering me so much as I was playing that section. I was like, who on earth is he reminding me of? And I was racking my little pea brain, and then it dawned on me, and I was like, ah, weird they would make him look like that. But yeah, anyway, whatever it is you're doing for the day, I hope you have a really good rest of the day. Goodbye.